Okay, breakfast on the homestead. Michael Wilson Barber. I'm going to make some potato hash. This was a couple of leftover baked potatoes, russets, that I put in the food processor and shredded. And I went ahead and shredded about a quarter of a yellow onion and maybe half to a quarter of a green pepper, a third. So what I'm going to do is use this smaller pan and do an individual size portion instead of trying to cook all the hash at once. I might even be able to flip it in the pan. I've also went ahead and cooked some breakfast pork sausage to go with it, and I'm going to make some eggs in here and have a regular hash and eggs breakfast. Okay, to make this hash this morning, I want to talk for a minute about avocado oil. For years, of course, my preferred oil is olive oil, which is a wonderful oil. It's great for cooking, especially for pizzas, Italian cooking, things like that. For something like this, I like to use avocado oil because it doesn't really impart an extra flavor to the food, which I really like the flavor of olive oil, of course. But I've learned about avocado oil from the internet, watching shows like Sam the Cooking Guy, which is not sponsoring this program, by the way, or the Barbecue Pit Boys, also not sponsoring this program. But avocado oil is a great cooking oil, and the flavor is, I wouldn't say bland, but it doesn't overpower the food. So for this application, for this hash this morning, I put about 2 to 3 tablespoons in here. Don't measure, but you can see I have a copious amount. I'm going to do 1 serving of hash for my breakfast this morning. Okay, so I've got my avocado oil already preheated. I've got it on low because I have a gas stove, which is the best. So I'm going to make an individual serving here of hash. About half of this bowl. I'm going to go ahead and try to even this out, sort of level it everywhere, make it kind of even, because I'm going to try to flip this actually, if I can. And I've got the camera on the stand. Again, this is leftover baked potatoes, so these potatoes are essentially already cooked. I've got the onions and the green peppers in with it. I'm going to put a little pepper and salt in it. There's a little bit of salt already in the potatoes, but because there was salt on the outside of the skin on the potatoes. So I ran this through the food processor. Okay, so it's time to flip this hash brown plate. You can see I got a couple of eggs going over here. Now this is not an easy thing to do. Like flipping a pancake's pretty easy, but I'm wondering if I should try to use a spatula or not use a spatula. Since the camera's on, I'll probably just try it without the spatula. So let's see. Sometimes I do this over the sink in case I spill. So let's just try it though. So there you go. Now I'm just going to cook it a little bit on this other side here. Break it up a little bit so some of the moisture can get out. All right, so that's flipping this hash brown dish. And I'm gonna finish up my eggs. I'm doing them over easy with a little sausage. Okay, so I think I sufficiently have browned the other side of the hash browns, and I'm going to serve this up. And I got my eggs slightly over easy with some of the sausage, and I'm going to serve it up, and hopefully it'll look like something you can get at Jim's. Okay, so here's what we got here. Here's what we're dealing with. We got the hash browns, onions, bell peppers, sausage, eggs over easy from our chickens at home. And that's kind of what we're looking at. So I'm going to eat it. I've got black pepper on it. I'll let you know how it turns out. Bye. Okay, so I had a situation with which to deal, and you can see that I completed the plate. Honestly, the hash browns weren't as good as Jim's. This video is not sponsored by Jim's or John Deere, but they were good. Using a baked potato to shred and then make hash browns with onions and peppers was, I think, a really good idea. In retrospect, I think I would not brown them as much because it came out kind of crispy. And the potatoes are already done anyway. So I think maybe next time, if I'm trying to flip the whole hash brown at once, like I did, like and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up for flipping the hash browns. If I were to flip them, you probably still want to brown that bottom side, that bottom layer well before you flip them, and then sort of do them over easy after that. But it was great. We had homestead eggs, leftover baked potato, onion, green pepper, and the pork sausage. So good. It was a good breakfast on the homestead. I just ate about 700 calories, maybe more. I don't know, 600, 800. So I should only eat one other meal today. So as Bob Ross says, God bless. Goodbye.